issue with me nor her. Them bitches was coming at you about your because they had took a scam on you. So it's like I wasn't there. Not them.
One could feel pushed to the limit. Rasheeda had been Yun's close friend for years, but their relationship had never been simple, especially when it came to MDC. There was something between Rasheeda and M, a shared past that always seemed to linger. Things began to change when M started dating Yandy. At first, Rasheeda tried to support them, but as time went on, she started to question M's dedication and the choices he was making. With the cameras recording every moment, Rasheeda's words felt sharp and cutting. Yandy could feel the heat rising in her chest. This wasn't the usual playful teasing they used to share, something that had always been a part of their friendship. But over time, Rasheeda's frustration with M's choices grew, and now she wasn't holding back. It felt like Yandy was the target of every harsh look and comment, as if her relationship with M was a personal betrayal. "Are you really going to sit there and defend him, Yandy?" Rasheeda asked, clearly in disbelief. "After everything he's done, you still act like he's some kind of hero?" Yandy tried to keep her emotions in check, but it was hard. It felt like an attack, like Rasheeda was questioning her every decision and everything that had led her here. "Why do you always have something to say about everything?" Yandy snapped, frustrated. Even though Yandy's words were clear, the pain and frustration she had been holding in made her voice tremble. "Don't sit here and act like you know what's best for me," she snapped. "I'm the one who has to deal with his past, his baggage, his mistakes. Too much time has passed since this all started," Yandy shouted, her emotions finally pouring out. "Yet here you are acting like you have all the answers in an atmosphere full of verbal abuse and unsolved problems." Rasheeda's presence in M's life had stoked a deeper rivalry, an unsaid jealousy that had been simmering for years. There were others participating. Every time Rasheeda made a comment, it felt like a punch to Yandy's gut. For a brief moment, Rasheeda's eyes flared with anger. "You think you're the only one who's had to deal with this mess? You think I don't know what it's like to be with someone who's always messing up?" she snapped. "He's hurt both of us, and I'm tired of seeing you act like he's changed. You're letting him drag you down, Yandy." Yandy could feel the anger Rasheeda had caused, but she refused to let anyone see her crack. With the cameras on them, she wasn't about to give anyone the satisfaction of seeing her break. And no matter how hard she tried to keep things together, it felt like everything was falling apart. Rasheeda's constant meddling and the chaos that followed made it seem like the pressure was about to explode. The argument got louder and angrier by the second. The crew watched as the accusations flew, and the tension grew thick in the air. The crew stood there, not sure what to do. They could see this wasn't just an argument. It was a relationship falling apart, a long struggle for respect and control with no clear way to fix it. Frustrated and drained, Yandy ran off, while the cameras kept recording every second. Rasheeda's anger was still bubbling under the surface, but for Yandy, the real challenge had only just begun. It wasn't just M and Rasheeda she had to deal with, she also had to figure out how to clean up the mess in her own life. Yandy was starting to wonder if she could trust anyone again, even herself. There were rumors that M was done calling her his wife, and had given up on trying to keep their family together. People were saying he had gone back to Erica, the woman he really loved. Things were getting ugly, and some even claimed M and Erica might have secretly gotten married. If you haven't heard this yet, let me fill you in. Manny was released earlier this year after serving time for drug-related offenses. While he was locked up, Yandy took care of everything on her own. She worked hard to keep the family strong and together, making so many sacrifices while supporting him from afar. After all she had done, we all thought Yandy would finally get to enjoy some peace. But now, it's clear things are still complicated. Whether she decides to break up with him or not, we'll find out when they finally face each other. Yandy did everything she could to save her marriage, even trying therapy to work through their problems. But as the saying goes, once a cheater, always a cheater. Instead of appreciating Yandy for keeping the family together, Manny chose to move on with Erica, who happens to be Yandy's biggest rival. If you've been following their story, you'll know that Yandy and Erica have never seen eye to eye. The tension between them has been there for years, mostly because Manny couldn't set boundaries with Erica. For a long time, People around Yandy refused to face the truth about her marriage, ignoring all the signs that things were falling apart. Even though Yandy knows Manny hasn't been fully honest with her and is still seeing Erica, her pride makes her believe she's the only woman in his life. She's great at acting like everything is fine, but deep down, we all know things aren't as perfect as they seemed before Yandy came along. Erica had been with Manny. She was there for him during tough times when he needed a friend, someone he could trust. Erica was one of the few people he really cared about, and their bond was strong. She was even his first baby mama. Even after Manny married Yandy, he stayed in contact with Erica. Now that he's out of jail and has a stable job, it's said that he moved out of their home, split from Yandy, and started a new relationship with Erica. To be honest, I don't think this is just a coincidence. It seems like there's more going on between them than anyone's willing to admit.
Them bitches was coming at you about choking because they had too much ammo for you. So that's why I wasn't there. Now damn sure ain't gonna come to somebody about they.
Mindy knew she had to change her approach when she left, but Mindy still seemed full of shame, even though she stuck to her position. Yandy talked to her close friends about the argument, sharing how frustrated she was with the ongoing tension. "I've always tried to fix things, but I can't stand this disrespect at home anymore," she told one of them. Even though Manny still loved his mom, he knew he couldn't let her keep hurting the person he chose to spend his life with. Something had to change. Manny started to wonder if there was anything more he could have done. But Judy turned to her own support system, letting out her frustration and anger. She felt distant from her son and thought Yandy was just playing a game. When she talked about the situation, she cried, asking, "How could he choose her over me?" It was hard for her to understand why Manny would pick his wife over her. This situation showed just how tough it can be to balance love, loyalty, and respect in a blended family. It also made everything more complicated in the already messy story of their lives. The Harris family, along with the Love and Hip Hop cast, felt the tension from all sides. Some cast members from Atlanta showed support for Yandy, while others understood Judy's feelings as a mother who felt pushed aside. Viewers were hooked, wondering if Judy and Yandy would be able to make peace, or if they would just grow further apart. The drama is far from over, and many people believe that because of all the ongoing issues, Yandy and Judy's future won't be easy for a while. They'll have to keep figuring out how to balance love, family, and their own personal struggles. On Love and Hip Hop New York, MC Harris and Yandy Smith show what a strong partnership looks like. Despite huge challenges like MC's legal troubles and a long jail sentence, the couple stayed committed to each other, working through the tough moments of fame, family, and criticism. Their relationship proves that with dedication, you can make it through even the hardest times. Their relationship was often praised for being full of love, but like many in the entertainment world, things weren't always as perfect as they appear. Behind the scenes, their relationship had its issues, and it seemed like those problems only grew when M decided to open up. The first sign that something was wrong came when M posted cryptic messages on social media. Everyone was shocked by what happened next. MC, also known as M, claimed that while Yandy and Carlos King, a producer known for his work on reality TV shows, had a close professional relationship, their bond went much deeper. To back up his statement, MC shared texts and emails he said were exchanged between Yandy and Carlos. These messages included things like, "I can't stop thinking about you," and "our relationship," which he argued showed a level of closeness beyond just work. Things took a wild turn when MC suggested that Yandy and Carlos had crossed some boundaries by spending time together, which only fueled the rumors. He even shared photos that he claimed were taken during private meetings between them. Some people argued that the photos could have been innocent, but MC painted a much darker picture. Yandy strongly denied the rumors that she and Carlos were anything more than friends, explaining that he had always been both a mentor and a friend to her. She said it felt unfair and uncomfortable to have their professional relationship twisted into something it wasn't. "I've always supported MDS through everything," she said, clearly hurt. "Being accused like this feels like a betrayal of the trust we've built." Carlos made it clear that his relationship with Yandy has always been professional. "Our connection has always been about work," he said, stressing that the accusations were completely false. I've worked with Yandy for years, and I respect her as both a professional and a friend. I hope Manny and Yandy can sort this out privately. The couple has gotten advice from both friends and family, but opinions are split. Some people believe MC's claims, given the evidence he shared, while others think Yandy should be given the benefit of the doubt, especially since she stood by Manny through his legal battles. While the situation is unique, it's clear that relationships in the public eye often come with deeper issues. There's no denying that reality TV has made their situation worse, and social media has only made things more complicated. Millions of people are now commenting on their personal lives, and that constant public focus has just made everything harder. As the drama keeps growing, it raises questions about privacy in today's world where everything is shared so openly. Right now, the future of Manny and Yandy's relationship is uncertain. Even though they both believe family should come first, rebuilding trust will be really tough after everything that's happened. Once trust is lost, it's hard to get it back, especially when everyone knows about your struggles. The situation is even more complicated with all the public attention. It's expected that people will soon notice Yandy has moved on, but no matter what happens between them, their main focus will likely be creating a safe, stable environment for their kids while they handle the fallout from everything that's come to light. The room went quiet as the news was shared with a mix of anger and frustration. Everyone was trying to understand Yandy's claim that she was to blame for everything that had gone wrong. The tension was thick, with all eyes on Yandy. She quickly denied the accusation, but the son kept pressing, saying she'd abandoned the family and blaming Manny for not being a better parent or husband. Yandy was so stunned by her son's outrageous comments that she tried to calm things down, but the tension just kept building. The argument heated up quickly as he shouted, "You've been so focused on your own problems that you couldn't see what was happening right under your nose." His voice was controlled but tight with frustration. He then raised his voice, demanding proof for such a serious accusation. Yandy, hurt and frustrated, shot back, "I love this family, but you've been tearing it apart, and you're too blind to see it." The argument quickly spiraled out of control. Manny, feeling challenged as the head of the house, struggled to keep his temper in check. The air was thick with anger and hurt, and emotions were running high. The room was quiet, and Manny struggled to hold back his emotions. "I can't believe it's come to this," he said, his voice full of regret. Yandy, still crying, tried to comfort him, her own pain obvious. Meanwhile, their son, clearly upset, packed his things and said he needed to leave, but Manny, still upset, stood his ground. "I love you, but I can't let this kind of disrespect continue in my home," he said firmly. He wasn't backing down. With a heavy heart, he told his son, "You need time to think. Maybe some space will help you understand what you've done," Manny said as his son walked away. They both left without saying another word. The days after were filled with tension and silence. Even though Yandy stood by Manny's decision, she couldn't hide how much it hurt. "I feel like I've lost a part of my family," she told a friend, "and I don't know if we can ever fix this." As news of the family's issues spread among Love and hip-hop fans, Manny couldn't shake the feeling of regret. He knew fixing his relationship with his son would be tough. Fans in Atlanta quickly voiced their opinions on social media. Some felt sorry for MC's son, while others backed Manny. However, many fans were upset by Manny using physical force, saying hitting his son was wrong. Manny knew he had to do whatever it took to earn back his wife's respect. The argument made it even harder for the Harris family to handle their pain in the public eye. But Manny stayed focused on fixing his family. One comment read,